It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. We are waking up with some very interesting weather on this Tuesday morning, a mix of rain, snow, and even freezing rain falling overnight tonight, and the temperature is critical. It's a little bit different, too, across the Ozarks. So my assignment to you this morning is to look at the temperature as you walk out the door. Check it at your house, check it on the car. May be different from location to location, but they're all hovering right around these critical temperatures of 32 degrees. That's the freezing point, and it will determine whether you get rain, freezing rain, or some of the wintry snowfall that is happening in our northern counties. So a little bit different for everybody. Doesn't look like a whole lot as you're waking up this morning, but things will change throughout the day. We've got all sorts of winter advisories and some headlines out there with folks expecting varying conditions across the Ozarks. Basically, if you're along and south of I-44, your main concern today is for a little glaze of ice. If you are north of that region, your main concern is for a small amount of snowfall accumulation, but both of those can cause some slick spots. So that's the big headline for you this morning. Use caution as you are heading out the door. Temperatures, I'm expecting them in Springfield to be right around 31 degrees. So just below that critical number where we're talking about some impacts from the wintry conditions. Frontal boundary coming through, that is going to lead to a drop in temperatures and set the stage for even colder weather and another round of wintry weather to come our way by the time we head into Wednesday. So the forecast is a mess, and it's not just us that's experiencing some bad conditions. I mean, this storm system runs all the way back to New Mexico and then all the way east over to the mid-Atlantic. So we are talking about widespread impacts from this winter storm all through the Midwest, through the Mid-Atlantic, and even the Deep South, experiencing some very heavy rainfall. This morning in the Ozarks, mainly what we've seen is a little wintry mix, freezing rain, some rainfall. Doesn't look like much when you look out the window. There will be a bit of a lull today, too. I think the mid-morning hours, there could just be nothing falling for a time. This should pick up again as we head closer to the lunch hour. The backside of this system will be heading into the Ozarks, so it may mean additional rounds of a wintry mix with small amounts of accumulation possible. The real thing that's hard for a meteorologist in a forecast like this is that temperatures this afternoon should be at like 35 degrees. So what's falling at 35 degrees? Can we get accumulation? Can we overcome some of the warm air in place with this system? And where does that happen? A lot of question marks as we're putting together this forecast, but I expect that what we're going to see are very low snowfall accumulations and low ice accumulations, but it doesn't take a whole lot to make for some slick spots. So I want you to be using caution today as you're getting the kids from school, as you're heading home from work. There may be some impacts that we see from this. And I really think most of the impacts will be isolated up into some of our northern counties. I'm talking a band right along Highway 54. Accumulation's not huge, anywhere from a trace to 2 inches of snowfall. And then that little glaze of ice could cause some impacts too for areas including Springfield, south of I-44. There have even some winter weather advisories down for northern Arkansas this morning. Accumulation could mean slick conditions for the evening drive, and we're not done with the winter show just yet. Additional chances for snowfall, and some of them heavier, are going to be moving into the forecast tomorrow. And I expect that there will be at least a band across the Ozarks that gets some heavier snowfall amounts. So accumulations, areas north of I-44 will be greater tomorrow. We're talking maybe on the scale of 5 to potentially 7 inches of snow for central Missouri. The cutoff will be sharp. So we are not expecting that for the Springfield region. However, I think amounts drop off pretty dramatically. And that's where we get more of a mix. So maybe more of the sleet, more of the freezing rain for the I-44 corridor, and then ice more likely for the southern Ozarks as we head into Wednesday's system. So even if you're not in the bullseye of heavy snow, doesn't mean you're not going to have impacts. I think there could definitely still be slick roads tomorrow. Exact track of the system, I'm still working it out with the forecast. The best chance, though, for snowfall will be north of I-44, and then that wintry mix will be along I-44 tomorrow, also down into northern Arkansas. So kind of a 1-2 punch here with the forecast. We're not done with the wintry weather today. It wraps up, though, this evening, and then round 2 will be on the radar early in the day tomorrow. Not only are we getting a second round of more impactful winter weather tomorrow, we're also going to see some incredibly cold temperatures. So the wind chill factor here is going to be down in the low single digits for the feels like temperatures. That's for both tomorrow night and Thursday night. So some dangerous cold is also heading in with the winter weather that I'm expecting. As I said earlier, we're not the only ones across the country experiencing some winter impacts. There's heavy snow happening for parts of the Central Plains, the Mid-Atlantic today. That translates to rain and freezing rain, including parts of the Ozarks, northern Arkansas, extreme southern Missouri. This stretches all the way into the lower Mississippi Valley and the central Appalachians. And then we've got temperatures that are 25 to 40 degrees colder than normal for the northern Rockies and the northern high plains. Well, that's where our next air mass is coming from. And that's why we have such cold weather in the forecast as we head into the weekend and the end of the week. So, wintry, find all the winter gear, the thick gloves. You need all the gear here in the next couple of days. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question. And the question yesterday kind of stings. Which team holds the record for the highest score ever in a Super Bowl game? And the options that I gave you were A, the New England Patriots, B, the Dallas Cowboys, C, the San Francisco 49ers, or D, the Kansas City Chiefs. Unfortunately, this does not go to the Chiefs. It goes to the 49ers with a high score of 55 points. So, yeah, high scoring game. It was a pretty high scoring game the other night, but thankfully, we did not see the Eagles make it to 55 points. But C, San Francisco 49ers is the correct answer. Congrats if that was your guess. Here's the question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. This one might come in handy. Some useful knowledge here. True or false? Mittens are warmer than gloves. And by gloves, I mean, 5 fingers, places to put your fingers. Mittens are warmer than gloves. Do you think that is a true or a false statement? You can let me know at aroundtheozarks.com. We will have that weather page at the website updated for you all day long. Remember, as you're heading out right now, check the temperature. If you're at freezing or below, there could be slick spots, even if it doesn't look like it out the window this morning. So use caution on the road. Stay safe, everyone. And I will chat with you again tomorrow morning where we'll be detailing more wintry conditions in the Ozarks. Thanks so much to John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. I'll be back to chat with you first thing tomorrow.